Oh wow, that's like pure. Okay, so we have some news. We have a bit of a plan for the 1979 BMW E12 520 that has been sat in a barn for the past 30 years or so. So if you watch the previous videos, you'll know that the engine now currently looks like this. Had to take the head off because the camshaft had seized. Since then I have completely stripped down the cylinder head. As you can see, removed all of the valves, valve springs, all of the valve stem seals as well. And as you saw in the previous video, the bearings themselves, they are pretty badly scored up. Basically the same story with the camshaft bearing journals as well. But I think I have decided that I'm actually going to run with this. So essentially I'm going to give this cylinder head and the camshaft for my dad to take to work. He is going to give this thing a good clean up, a good shot blast, and he said he's going to try and polish up the bearings somewhat and polish up the journals on the camshaft as well. Now I know, you know, we're not obviously going to get this back to a factory finish. The only way to really get this scoring out is of course to take the material away, you know, to grind it down. But if you do that, of course, then you are going to need oversized bearings. I don't even know if they exist for this head. You know, there's no physical inserts that I am aware of. This is just, you know, lined board, I'm pretty sure. And so essentially I'm just gonna, you know, have this polished up. My dad's just gonna try and polish this up as best as possible, and then essentially we're just gonna run with a slightly more oil clearance. Now, is this going to run perfectly? I don't imagine so, no. But is it going to get us up and running? I think so. I think this is the best that we can do, you know, on a budget without going too far, because of course the rest of the car is kind of an unknown. I really don't want to go too far into this car without even having the engine up and running. So as you can see here, I have all of the valves, the valve springs, the collets, everything that I have removed from the head, all still in order. They all will be going back into the head all the same. Now if you're wondering, you know, in terms of the condition of these valves, to be honest, like they're actually in very good condition. You know, you wouldn't really know that there is anything wrong with them. No real pitting or anything. Of course these will all be relapped back into the head when it comes to you know, reinstalling them. We do need to replace two there. There is an intake and an exhaust valve. Where is the, I think this, yeah, this is the broken exhaust valve. As you can see, yeah, broke clean off. And we should have a bent intake valve. Yep, cylinder one, that one, as you can see, yeah, pretty badly bent. That of course will need replacing as well. But the rest of them, I have checked them and they all visually look okay. Some more news, managed to get the oil pump shaft freed up. This now turns nicely. So as you saw, the distributor was moving nicely. One thing that I kind of want to inspect though is the oil pump. Of course, if the oil pump is bad, if it's badly damaged, then, you know, we don't want to attempt to run this engine. So I think what I am going to do is remove the oil pan. Now I think it's going to be a bit of a pain to do while the engine is in the car, but at the same time I kind of don't want to disconnect it from the transmission. I think that'll just be way more work than it's worth. Now as you can see, the oil pan sits pretty close to the subframe, so I think I'm going to have to jack the engine up slightly. I'll probably just loosen the nuts either side for the engine mounts, get the engine lifted slightly, and hopefully I'll have enough clearance to get this thing off. It'd be a good idea to give the oil pan a good clean out anyway, give the oil pump a good clean out, because yeah, after sitting for 30 years or so, there's going to be a whole lot of sludge in there. I know I have kind of gave the engine a bit of a flush anyway with some diesel, so that of course will have helped, but I'm going to guess there's still quite a bit of sludge left in the thing. So yeah, let's try and get this off. Okay, so here is where we are now at. As you can see, there is now a space between the oil pan and the engine, but it's not going to come free until I can either completely remove this anti-roll bar, or what I'm planning to do is actually just unbolt the nuts for the drop links on either side, and hopefully I can just rotate this round slightly, because it's really not far to get past it. I only have to swing this out of the way maybe an inch or so. But yeah, what have I done to get to this point then? So I started off by removing the inspection panel cover, whatever you want to call it, for the transmission. On this engine, it looks like this. Absolutely filthy, covered in oil and God knows what else. Just 3 10mm bolts holding this in place. That's those there. And then I removed what seemed like an eternity of 10mm bolts around the oil pan itself. That is all of those. Some of them were pretty tricky to get to. Again, with the subframe in place, I just had to use a regular spanner on those. And then I have also, I didn't even say, I've also unbolted the oil pump, which is just held in by these 3 30mm bolts. Whether or not I needed to, I don't know, to get the oil pan out, but we was planning on unbolting the oil pump anyway. Now, my initial plan was to try and jack up the engine, but I did try and jack it up from the bell housing, and it just lifted up the whole car pretty much. I think if anything, we need to try and jack it up from the front. I think people tend to jack it up from the crankshaft pulley, but that's obviously off the car. So I'm going to see if we have enough clearance anyway after sliding the anti-roll bar out the way, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I did unbolt both of the drop links, but just could not get enough turn on the anti-roll bar. There was literally millimeters in it, so just put the crankshaft pulley on, jacked it up, a couple of pieces of wood, lifted the engine up slightly. As you can see, the oil pan is now removed. On first inspection, it really doesn't look the best in here. Very, very sludgy. If I had to say why this engine failed or why the camshaft seized, I'm going to have to say lack of oil changes. That's the only thing I can really think of. I mean, look at that. I don't think I've ever seen an oil pan that bad. I mean, bear in mind, this is after flushing it with diesel as well, so all this sludge still left behind after that. But yeah, let's take the oil pan over to a bench and let's see if we find anything interesting inside. Okay, so first look in the sump then. Yeah, very, very sludgy. Oh no. Oh wow. That's like pure whipping cream, that is. But no, that's not good. Look at that. That's solid. That's not oil. Let's get the oil pump out first, just so we can have a closer look at that. Yeah, completely covered in sludge. We'll take this bottom plate off to see if we can find anything interesting in the oil pickup. Okay, that's both of those bolts removed. This now just going to pull off. Look at that. Oh, that is... I don't even know what that is. It kind of feels like carbon. I thought it was metal to begin with, like rust maybe. But it's kind of going powdery, so maybe it's not. Let's put a magnet on this and see if any of it gets picked up. No, I don't think it's metallic. No, I think it is literally just sludge on there, so that's a good thing, I guess. That is not the stuff that you want to be inside of your oil pickup though, is it? Let's be honest. All this sludge, has this occurred from a lack of oil changes? I mean, you would think so, wouldn't you? But could it just be that this has kind of, you know, the oil has kind of broke down and just turned into jelly after sitting for 30 years? Ultimately, we're not going to know now. I'm fairly confident that it did have a pretty comprehensive service history. I still do have the original service history with it, and it had plenty of receipts. But you have to bear in mind this is a 1979 car, so probably ran on conventional oil. Conventional oil does last nowhere near as long as regular, you know, full synthetic oil that we have nowadays, so it did need to be changed like every 3,000 miles or so. So, you know, if it has had extended oil changes, this could be the result of it. And ultimately, it could have been the reason that this engine failed prematurely. Okay, so I just removed the screen off of the oil pickup. Of course, we can now see the gears in here, and I just inserted an Allen key into the pump drive here. So there is basically a shaft about the same size as this really that I removed from here. This goes up to the oil pump shaft. Of course, that rotates. It rotates the gears and squirts oil up to the top of the engine in there. Looking at the gears, they look absolutely fine. I mean, you are supposed to, of course, you know, measure them, make sure there's no excessive wear in there, but visually they look good. You know, I can't see any damage on them, can't see any chipped teeth, I can't see any pitting or anything. So yeah, this pump is definitely going to be good to go again, at least for, you know, what we need it to do. Okay, so I've decided to go a step further. Thought it would be a good idea just to check what the rod bearings are looking like, and they're not looking the best, to be honest. So they look very similar to how the camshaft bearings looked. Two pretty big score marks down the middle. You definitely can feel them with your finger. Not as, I wouldn't say they are as bad as the camshaft bearings, but yeah, you can definitely feel them. So it's more than likely that this has either had, you know, bad oil contamination, or it's just been starved of oil. That's the only thing I can think of. Looking at the big end bearing on the crank, that doesn't look too bad, to be honest. Can't feel any scoring in that. So I mean, ideally, of course, you would do a complete full engine rebuild on this. You'd probably find out that the crank is worn, and you'd have to go oversized bearings, the lot. But of course, our goal is just to try and get this engine up and running as cheap as possible. So I am just going to kind of put this back in its place and pretend that I didn't see it. I am going to reuse the bolts. I know they are taught to yield bolts, but again, for the purposes of just getting this engine running, it should be absolutely fine. I will you know, follow the torquing procedure. Not that it's really going to make much difference, but yeah, I'll get this back in place, and then we'll kind of have a think of what we want to do next. So then, do we know anything now that we didn't know before? Probably not, actually. I mean, the fact that the car had been sat for 30 years or so in a barn, we pretty much expected it to need an engine rebuild at some point. Like I've said numerous times now, if we can get that thing up and running, it's not going to be running perfect. Could it run for 1,000 miles, 10,000 miles, 20,000 miles? Like, possibly, like, you know, the wear has probably been done to that engine because of, you know, a contamination in the oil. You know, the fact that it probably hasn't had as regular oil changes as it should have had. You know, we found all that sludge in the oil pan. It hasn't done, you know, the engine any favors. But in theory, moving forward, if we clean everything down proper, give it some fresh oil, no more wear should occur. So as long as anything hasn't, you know, catastrophically failed, which of course we're not going to know until we get the engine up and running, I think we will be okay to simply do that. Like I said, get the engine up and running. I'm still kind of undecided what to do with the car yet. I mean, you guys will kind of be the you guys will kind of decide the outcome for the car. Depends how views are on these videos. You know, at the end of the day, if I'm not really getting the views that this car deserves, then I'm not going to waste my time putting loads of time, effort and money into it. But yeah, first things first, we need to try and get this thing up and running. It'll make it a hell of a lot easier for me to move the thing around. I mean, this garage here that it's sat in, this isn't staying for much longer at all anyway. So yeah, I would quite like to get it up, running, driving. Then I guess we will then decide what we want to do with the thing. So yeah, I'm going to take the head, the camshaft, a couple of the bits as well. That's going to go to my dad's workplace. He's going to clean them up, shot blast them, and then give the bearings a quick polish. We'll see how they come out. But yeah, that'll probably be in a week's time or so. So yeah, car's going to be sat for a little while, and I'm going to be sitting, contemplating life, scratching my head, and trying to think of the plan moving forward. But yeah, hopefully you've all enjoyed this video anyway. I want to thank you all for watching. Please give this one a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one.